Hey, Isme, what have you been up to this year with your podcasting?
Oh my God. I'm still alive for one thing, but I've learned so much and I'm ready to share it with whoever's interested in knowing what this journey's been all about. In fact, let me show you from the YouTube analytics because I'm a numbers girl, right? I've always been a numbers girl. And it's great because I know the importance of metrics. So that brings me to my tip number 5 for people is make sure you look at the analytics that are provided on the YouTube studio because that kind of gives you an idea of how you're going to do or you're doing, how each individual episode is doing, who is your audience, all of these things. So let me just show you just some basic things, what they call vanity metrics. They're called vanity metrics because, you can get all vain about seeing all these numbers. But if I were a narcissist and vain, I think I wouldn't show you these numbers because I'm not sure that they're fantastic. But um, I have, as you can see, over 4,000 views. So people that come in and
Congratulations. That's wonderful.
you. And I've got at this point 91 subscribers. That is in a 9 to 10 month period because I actually started in November, late November. So with these kind of numbers, I'm actually considered a small channel.
Nice.
Yeah, and thanks to all the people that hit the like button and the subscribe button and all that, I gotta say. But now take a look at the subscribership. That's an interesting metric. 85% are unsubscribed. Okay. And that's quite normal, by the way, for a large proportion of your audience to be unsubscribed.
I think a lot of people are not sure. That's why I asked you that question about subscribed if you have to pay, because I wasn't even really sure for a while until someone told me.
But if I wanted to grow rapidly, um, I could do, I could post more frequently. So the tip 6 is the more you post, the more consistency you have, and the more, your following, comes. Did you know that 20 million videos, 20 million are uploaded to YouTube daily?
Daily?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Daily.
every minute there's thousands, right? And so that's what you're up against, right? But going back to self mastery, I have a lot on my plate. Within a few months, I went to posting twice a month, so every
Hmm.
weeks. If I were to post once a week, that could bring it up. That would create some issues for me. I might get better at this, so maybe not. Who knows? But that's why I've kept it at that level. And I'll see if I can post more often. But this is what I've learned is you got to post. You got to upload your videos, and content. That's how you get the views.
Tell me, do you know who actually is watching your podcast?
Yeah, it's quite fascinating. Take a look at this chart. It shows the gender and age breakdown. So right now it's about 60-40, 60% are women and 40% roughly uh, men. I'm really glad that it's serving both men and women. What's interesting is the age group. So, I'm 70, I've got the age group that are 65 plus.
I have to say, Ismay, I'm sorry, but I just cannot give you that age. It just doesn't fit. But I know it's the truth, but it's really hard to deal with. It's, it,
Well, thanks.
you're gonna have a podcast of your beauty tricks and tips. But anyway, that's my tip of the day.
Oh, well, hey, I need to know what people want to know about. So that's
Okay, that's what I want.
okay. Well, put it in the comments. I need to know. I need to know from people who are watching my podcast, what are they interested in? What topics in health, wealth, and some inspirational things do they want to listen to? I know that young people have come to me, on the side and said, "Hey, can you talk to us about careers and marriage and relationships and all of that?" And so I might try and do something with that. Um, Maybe
That
broaden.
could be really fun too. There needs to be more information for everybody about relationships and how to get along and how to make your marriage last longer or, improve it or your partnerships. Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be really interesting.
Yeah, and so the young people have asked me to weigh in on that based on my experience, and I've got a lot. So, and I might get others to weigh in on on these experiences as well. Anything to help people.
What were the best podcasts of the year or the ones that got the most views?
Okay, well, that's really interesting because, I put out a lot of stuff on health and well-being and losing weight and dual identity, all kinds of stuff. Um, but the one that got the most views is Steve McConnell, your friend. You told me you got to interview this guy because, he had 25 accidents and so on. It happened to get the most views. I was really fascinated by what people are watching on my channel.
Yeah, I watched that podcast. It was so good. It made me want to know more about him and hear more about what he's been through because I know you got to talk about some of it, but every time talk to Steve about what he's been through, it always makes me shake my head. I can't even believe it.
Exactly. And I've kept in touch with him. He was so inspirational to me because somebody who can overcome all of that stuff and still be positive. It's pretty amazing. So I have been in touch with him. I figured that if somebody is the most viewed on my podcast, I would bring them back. And I told Steve already, I said, you got to come back and talk to me about other things. The other surprise was the views on my uncle with the tall buildings. He's the tall building expert. I was surprised that that topic would get so many views.
I'm not surprised because there's a lot of people interested in the tall buildings that were in New York at one point.
That's true. That's true. And we did discuss that. And it keeps climbing. His is the one that never stops. It just keeps growing. And I wonder, okay, how? We didn't really market it, which is another aspect that I'm working on. But, you know, he his still every time I turn around, he's got more. So he might actually, given that, exceed Steve McConnell. So
Oh,
yeah, so that's Dr. Ali, my uncle.
you never know. Maybe it'll be my podcast.
You don't know. You really don't know. Because, if somebody discovers my podcast and then looks on the content and suddenly they're more interested in yours, then everything it's a crapshoot. We don't know where things are going to go. That is the truth. Yeah.
Well, that's what I really like about your podcast, that there are all sorts of things, and it's really fascinating to go from one topic to another. I know there's people that have niches, but I kind of like the fact that you're putting out and going into your community of friends and family and neighbors and having people come in and talk about a variety of subjects. I really do like that.
Well, that's great. But if you are doing a podcast, it's not the way to go. It actually, that's my other tip. You're supposed to pick a niche. Okay. So that is my tip 7. That's something I'm working on. I don't know if I'll get there or when I'll get there. And the problem is that I am multi-passionate. I have so many, curiosities about everything. And so it's really hard for me to nail one topic as, what I specialize in. I've always been a generalist.
But I
Um,
kind of look at it like a painting. Like I have an aunt who paints. She does beautiful paintings. Well, she's been doing it for years, and only now that she's really becoming quite known, and she's finally had, a real particular style in her painting. You can pick it up when you see them. But so I'm thinking this is a natural evolution where you start and it keeps growing until you find your certain flavor.
exactly. And I'm willing to do that, to see where this thing goes and how it unfolds. And maybe at some point I will find that thing, or maybe not. Maybe it will be a variety of things, like a variety show, if you will. But I'm gonna maybe have to deal with this issue, according to YouTube podcasters.
Throw in a little apology. I'm outside, so hair flying around. It was really calm, but anyway, it's all good.
It's great. It looks gorgeous out there as usual. Another challenge, if I can go back to answering that question, is the target audience. Tip 8 is to know the audience, what age are you targeting? What sex are you targeting? What are the other characteristics of this group that you're targeting? Um, I I didn't target anybody. I mean, it's whoever.
You have. You're targeting people like me that likes all sorts of things
Okay.
because I get, a whole variety of stuff with you. Whereas me personally, I watch one podcaster, then I flip over because I don't always want to watch the same thing.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll take your advice and maybe continue on. The
Well,
way
the
I
numbers will tell you eventually, right?
That's true. That's true. And I am using a more organic process, which takes time to unfold, but I have that time. I'm okay with it. But many people would not be okay with it. Thanks everyone for watching, and don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe.